just a smile, a gentle touch will bring the spark that lights up hope, just like the fire that burns for Christmas. The meaning is so clear, and there's somebody near. Why not give it a shot? Reach out and touch someone for Christmas. Why not give it to set a goal and touch someone, no matter big or small. A smile placed on a face will warm a heart in need. I will hurry, Christmas bells are ringing, soon the year will all be gone. But just one deed, not even one, will give a jolt and warm up hope, just like a fire that burns for Christmas. The meaning is so clear, and there's somebody near. We're made to care, so I will dare reach out and touch someone for Christmas. That is there, so won't you dare reach out and touch someone for Christmas. Despair will ruin the soul when there's nowhere to turn, and there's no one to call, and there's no means to reach. And mood is dark, faith is weak, hope is gone, and it's time to give up. But just a smile, a gentle touch will bring the spark that lights up hope, just like the fire that burns for Christmas. The meaning is so clear, and there's somebody near. Why not give it a shot? Reach out and touch someone for Christmas. How nice to set a goal experience
just
and
one
proven results with offices and
not even one will give a jolt and warm up hope just like a fire that burns o'er Christmas. The meaning is so clear, and there's somebody near with this care. So I will dare reach out and touch someone for Christmas. That is there, so won't you dare reach out and touch someone for
Life is not what we find, it is certainly what we create. If you and I really want the world to be a better place, we gotta love one another. Your sweet hello, your simple touch, you know how much that means to me. Why put the green before I love white? Like the beauty of it all. A simple girl, a girl of peace. In troubled times I seek release. Dog eat dog with Pharaoh's way. Let's come as one and in him dwell. Was that frown on your face? Was the smile don't erase? It won't cost you a dime, but it's a gift from above. Was that frown on your face? Was the smile don't erase? It won't cost you a dime, but it's a gift from above. Shabba dwayne, la da do, dee da dum ba da dee doo, dum da dee da do, da dee da lo dee da 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 day, la da doom doo doo da, la da dee da do da, la da dee la da do, dam dum dee da, la da dee. Why all the pride? Why all this pain? What good can come of it? Don't let conceit destroy it all. Oh, love is way from morning gold.
Dimansyon is on the air. Dimansyon is on the air. We have a great show for you tonight. We're glad that you are able to join us. It's a privilege. We don't take that for granted. So we want to say good evening or good day or good morning wherever you listen to that podcast. It is Dimansyon in Creole. This is a Creole show that also wants to cater to the English-speaking people. So therefore, we have a show in English every Thursday. So if you are an English-speaking person, or if English is your strong suit, we invite you to join us every Thursdays at 8 p.m. sharp for our show. Our show is geared toward Haitians or Haitian people of Haitian descent, people who want to know what it is to be Haitian, people who want to know what it is to be of a Haitian descent. So it is what we do here. We talk about our heritage. We talk about what make us who we are, how we got here, and where we want to go. The status quo is not really the end game. We have to go somewhere. We are going somewhere, and then over here in this broadcast, we want to encourage Haitians to excel in whatever they do. So dimension, I keep saying dimension. Dimension is the English word, but the word in Creole is dimension. Dimension means dimension in English, and we are a 5-dimensional show. We have the social dimension. We have the musical dimension, because we are musical animals here at Dimension. We have the theological dimension. Then we have the technological dimension. And then the last one is, not the least, linguistic dimension. So those 5 dimensions, we're playing 5-dimensional chess in this show. So you're welcome to join us. If you want to listen to some Creole, join us on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. If you want to listen to some French, on Tuesdays, and then English, as we're doing tonight in this show. So we are glad to be here, like we said, and let's give you the rundown of what's going on tonight. We're gonna, of course, have a little music here, and then always we try to throw in a piece. Most of the time, it's something that we've written, like the theme. It is us playing the guitar. We've written it in Creole, and we have a Creole version for the Creole shows. We got to have a English version. We don't have it yet. We have also to have a French version that we don't have. So we're just playing an instrumental, playing me strumming the guitar, a little classical guitar. Anyways, so music, of course, is gonna be what we do, and then we're gonna talk about HCDF, which is an organization that is dear to our heart, and then we are going to dive into the program for tonight, which is Dessalines and Christmas. Typically, people, especially people who don't like Haitians, they like to cast Dessalines as a bloodthirsty guy. So he would be very far from Christmas. But yeah, there's a connection, and we want to unveil that connection for you tonight. So if you have some friends who would like to know also, please invite them to join us. In about 5-6 minutes, we will dive into the show. And then once we discuss about Dessalines and Christmas, and then nothing will be left but to say what is Dimension and Kiskei, if we have the time, of course, because the program, the topic at hand could take the lion's share of this broadcast, and we may end up with no time left for some plugin, but we'll see. Also, we are also not bound by the hour that we used to have on the radio station. The radio station will bump us off at 9 sharp. But because we are on YouTube and we are also on Facebook, we're streaming both on YouTube and Facebook. Basically, we were streaming in three places. We were streaming to the radio station, the FM station in Palm Beach, 98.3. Radio Galaxy International in West Palm Beach. We're streaming to that radio station. But then we are also streaming to YouTube and also streaming to Facebook. And we can add any other medium as we see fit. If there's a demand for it, whether it's Instagram or whether it's other social media, we have certainly the capacity to stream to that platform too. So if you have somebody who somebody who prefers another media that could benefit from our broadcast, let us know, and we'll just toss it into what we do. All right, so this is basically the show for tonight, and then we have to do some obligatory commercial pause to a friend of ours, and he has a clinic. His wife has a clinic in the Fort Pierce area, so suffer to listen for a minute or so. Holy Infant Primary Care and Wellness Center in Fort Pierce, Florida.
Haitians in Fort Pierce, Port St. Lucie, Stewart, Vero Beach, Indiantown, Jensen Beach, your doctor has arrived. She is none other than Dr. Ana Jose Chanwan, who is waiting for you at Holy Infant Primary Care and Wellness Center at 2215 Nebraska Avenue, Suite 3E in Fort Pierce, right next to Lawnwood Hospital. Dr. Ana Jose thoroughly checks everything to give you top-notch care, and if she needs to refer you to a specialist, it will be done immediately. She accepts Medicare, Medicaid, and other insurances as well. If you don't have insurance, don't worry, Dr. Ana is here to serve you. Call 772-801-5475 to make your appointment. You will receive the best welcome and the best service at Holy Infant Primary Care and Wellness Center. We speak English, French, Spanish, and Creole is our strong suit. 772-801-5475.
5475, that's the end, that's the last four digits of that number. Check it out if you live in the area. We are going to play for you a piece that we also have written way back in 2009, and this is Christmas song that we've written. Christ is the Lord of Christmas. Christ is in Christmas. This piece is a bossa nova piece that is sung by our daughter, Madame Melissa Alma. She was Pierre Louis. Now Ricky Alma snatched her from us, so now she's Melissa Alma. But when she recorded that piece, she was Melissa Pierre Louis. And now let's hear that song, Christ is the Lord of Christmas. It's a bossa nova song on the Christmas tune, on the Christmas words. Melissa Almond.
Christ is the Lord of Christmas. Christ is the peace of Christmas. Christ is the gift of Christmas. Christ is the way to the right Christmas. Christ is the God of Christmas. Christ is the joy of Christmas. Christ is the hope of Christmas. Christ is the way to the right Christmas. The God of heaven left his glory above. He came of the power, power. The baby of Christmas. The message of Christmas. Power, power beyond Christmas. There is a song in the air, making the time feel so rare. And it says that you care to redeem fair and square from the grips of despair. There is a song in the air. It really sounds like a prayer that we want to declare to our Savior so fair. Would you really lead a love affair? The God of love left His glory above. He came down to show with love. So we celebrate Christmas, 'cause we know the meaning of Christmas. But we celebrate not just to celebrate, but celebrate a gift so great, the wonderful, marvelous blessing to exalt Savior and King. Sing we know well, 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 sing we know well.
Sing we Noel, sing we Noel. Christ is Lord of Christmas. Christ is the baby of Christmas. Mrs. Melissa Armand. It's a piece that we've written, and we're glad to share it with you. We want to talk before we go into the topic at hand. We want to talk about HCDF. HCDF stands for Haitian Christian Development Fund. HCDF. HCDF was started in early 80s by a friend of mine, Jean Thomas, in a remote part of Haiti called Fond de Blanc. And he studied here. His brother studied also here, agronomy, and he studied theology, and then they decided that they would go back to Haiti to help develop the country. They didn't go where they used to live in Saint Michel, but they went to a remote part of Haiti and started something that is wonderful. They started HCDF. They've worked in education. Jean Thomas has 3 boys. 2 are American. His wife is American, but they started a school called l'Exode, the Exodus, and that school was good enough for their kids, who were all educated at that school. And that school is still going on strong. They have it's a high school. They have 1,500 kids in that part of that country, and it's thriving. But yet they could use some sponsorship for their kids. And I'm right now at the website of HCDF, and I'm looking at those precious little kids who would like to be sponsored. They really look really neat with their l'Exode uniform. Some smiling, some very serious. For example, I'm looking at a little girl that is 10 years old. Her name is Eureka Lowar. She's looking for some sponsorship. I'm looking at this girl called Beverly Kais Michel Busseret. I'm looking at James Lee Belizer. All these precious little souls could use your help. So if you are helping out HCDF, you are doing a good thing. Your money is going to be well spent. It's going to be doing what it is supposed to be doing, helping out a kid in Haiti. So HCDF, I am I need to come clean here. I am also the chairman of the board of HCDF. And since I have this broadcast and I wanted to talk about them, talk about the kids, talk about the Exhort. They also work in community development. They've done quite a bit of things and helping people in the area. And for the Blanc now, they have a very, very good hospital that was there because HCDF started something and others came. When there's a good thing, others want to join. So they came and joined Fond de Blanc, and they have a hospital called Saint Boniface. Saint Boniface is a reference hospital in the country. So Fond de Blanc has a lot going for it. So if you join there helping out, it will be a good cause. So please check it out. HCDF.org. If you go to that website, then you'll see the sponsorship. You could see a link to donate. So I'm certainly very proud to be associated with HCDF and Fond de Blanc. Okay, so now I also want to tell you that this broadcast is also sponsored by our corporation that is called KISS-KI. KISS-KI, it's a technology corporation that has to help out and help people to be technologically superior in this day and age. If you do not dive into technology in this day and age, you're gonna be left behind. So KISS-KI, that sponsors this broadcast, is there for you. Whatever you want to do, we can do it for you. You want to do website, you want to do mobile applications, you want to do AI, you want to do programming with AI, you want to do videos, you want to do podcasts, you want to do blogs, any kind of software related chores. This is our strong suit. So KISS-KI has sponsored this show. So we've gotten the sponsorships behind us, and now we can dive into this interesting topic. At least I think it's very interesting. There are some unexplored areas that we try to get into. What is the link between Dessalines and Christmas? Dessalines, for those who don't know it, Dessalines is the liberator of Haiti. He's a guy who beat the French people, kicked them out of Haiti, and declared Haiti a free country, the first free black republic in the universe. And that was done with the help of Jean-Jacques Dessalines. Now, we are in the Christmas season. Jean-Jacques Dessalines was murdered, I need to tell you that, about October 17th, and every October 17th we commemorate the death of our Emperor Jean-Jacques Dessalines, a unique individual who did something that no one else has done: liberate a country from slavery, unheard of. Certainly a watershed moment in world history. And Jean-Jacques Dessalines is our guy. He not too long ago we talked about his murder. He was betrayed, and since now we're in December, of course, I want to link Jean-Jacques Dessalines with Christmas. So what is the link between Jean-Jacques Dessalines and Christmas? When you celebrate Christmas in its original purity, it is a symbol of love, redemption, and hope. It's a moment that every heart opens to restore humanity to its rightful place. Certainly, that's the case. Where Christ abandons his glory from heaven and becomes a human being, becomes a man, sharing the pain of the oppressed and leading them to freedom. However, when Christmas is viewed through colonial lenses in the context of French intelligence, the message of redemption is muddied, distorted, stripped of its essence. Christmas, as it was then, was pretty much a parody. And we'll see that. Christmas, as celebrated by colonial masters, was not the right Christmas. It lost its meaning, and it became a tool to break the spirits of the oppressed. In the face of such glaring contradictions, figures like Dessalines, Henri Christophe, and Toussaint Louverture, and others, they emerge as great leaders. They took it upon themselves to gather those crushed under the boots of the colonial masters, colonial oppression, and through symbolic acts of justice, they spent significant resources to reclaim their lives. So their act restored the true essence of the hope and freedom that Christmas carries in its message. Now, the monumental battle that these men fought to bring independence to the enslaved, so they could be their own bosses, they demonstrated that acts of justice, compassion, and dignity are not confined to spiritual realms, but can manifest through the actions of principled individuals with strong convictions. The celebration of Christmas, which marks the birth of Christ, brings good news. That's the way we know it. Good news. Christ, the mighty Redeemer, has arrived to reclaim and restore humanity that was fallen. So through his example and teaching, Christ preached love for the weakest, freedom for those suffocating under the weight of oppression, and dignity for all. He came to do that. So he came to save the dignity of the downtrodden without abandoning them. It was a divine act. The act of a king who voluntarily relinquished all his privileges to share in the suffering of the poor and the dehumanized. That's the essence of Christmas. But in the same way, when Dessalines fought for the liberation of the enslaved, he dismantled the oppressive colonial system and achieved something the colonial masters could never have expected from a former slave. He caught them by surprise. He delivered a decisive blow that left the colonists in chaos, scrambling like thieves caught in the act. While the colonists exploited, humiliated, and disrespected the humanity of the enslaved, Dessalines chose to dedicate his life to freeing those shackled in the colonial system. He became a living symbol of redemption on earth, where the enslaved regained their lost freedom and dignity. But Christmas, let's say a word of Christmas in the colonies. Colonial Christmas, as it was celebrated, was nothing more than a poor, distorted imitation that bore no resemblance to the true spirit of Christmas. It was a travesty. Enslaved people witnessed their masters preaching a God of love while committing the most egregious acts of violence against them. Søren Kierkegaard captures this hypocrisy in his reflections, juxtaposing someone worshipping the true God insincerely with another person sincerely worshipping a false God. The colonists even used the Christian Bible to justify the atrocities inflicted on the enslaved while ignoring the core foundation of genuine faith. Søren Kierkegaard, he's a 19th century Danish philosopher, and frequently he addressed the essence of authentic faith. In his writings, he presents a moral, spiritual paradox. Here it is. Someone may worship the true God, the Christian God, insincerely, hypocritically, or without seriousness. That's the first leg of the paradox. And the second leg is another person may worship a false God sincerely, seeking authenticity in their actions, even though they are in error and unaware of their mistake. So Kierkegaard compares these two individuals and emphasizes the importance of inner attitude over outward religious practices. He emphasizes the importance of inner attitude over outward religious practices. For Kierkegaard, it is not merely faith that matters, but the sincerity of the worshipper's intention. He highlights the stark contrast between the appearance of religious faith and actual motivations within a person's heart. This means that a facade may deceive others but cannot deceive God. Let me say it again. The facade may deceive others but cannot deceive God. Now, it's time for us to introduce our Haitian proverb. The Haitian proverb says, "Kay koule, ka trompe soleil, men pa ka trompe la pluie." A leaking roof can fool the sun, but it cannot fool the rain. Exactly what happened to these colonists. Yeah, the facade may deceive others, but cannot deceive God. God knows who is sincere and who is merely putting on a show. He disregards a hypocrite. So Kierkegaard's reflection resonate with the reality of colonial Christmas. While the colonists pretended to worship the true God, their actions were steeped in lies and hypocrisy. Their celebration of Christmas was devoid of genuine faith and stood in stark contrast to the true message of Christmas. It was an evident hypocrisy. The colonists used God's name and Christ's teaching as tools to control and oppress. Their religious doctrines, what we call orthodoxy, were in complete opposition to their actions, orthopraxy. Your orthodoxy must line up with your orthopraxy. Otherwise, you're a hypocrite. So they preach, love your neighbor as yourself. Love your neighbor as yourself. But yet, they were exploiting, they were torturing, disrespecting, humiliating, and killing enslaved people. That was a glaring contradiction. So the colonists celebrated Christmas outwardly, but their celebration meant nothing to those under their oppression. They could care less of what they were doing because the colonists were completely indifferent to the suffering of those they oppressed. People who lived in constant pain and tears. The enslaved cried out, but their anguish meant nothing to the colonists, and they continued to celebrate Christmas while torturing them. What kind of Christianity was that? Their Christmas was a malefactored Christmas, a perverse mockery of the true spirit of the holiday. At the same time, the enslaved who cried out to God, cried out to the God they knew were sincere. They did not ask to be uprooted and brought to foreign lands. They did not ask to be nothing but hypocrites. We're getting some bad vibes here from our software. It's connecting and reconnecting. Hopefully, the people on YouTube and Facebook will not lose much. Oh, I got a call here. Jake, qu'est-ce qui s'est passé? Non. Je réalise que j'ai un problème là. Je vais essayer de si nous sommes capables de reconnecter. Ok, d'accord. Thank you. Bye. So we have a little technical problem here that we're trying to attend to. Give us a second here. Technology always does that to you, but we should be back. We should be back in shape pretty soon. Okay, so now we're back. We're back online. Okay, so we were saying that Kierkegaard would recognize the inversion of the roles here. The enslaved in their sufferings and sincerity offered true worship to God as they understood it, while the oppressors betrayed the very faith they claimed to hold. Now, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, let's get back to Jean-Jacques Dessalines. Jean-Jacques Dessalines and the other revolutionaries, they understood the deep hypocrisy ingrained in the colonists' foundations. That is why the enslaved rejected the colonists' false religion to embrace the truth that tied humanity to a deeper understanding of Christmas message. And that was different than what was masked and presented to them by the colonists. Christmas message was one of dignity for the humiliated, justice for the oppressed, and freedom for the chained. In that sense, Dessalines symbolized the restoration of truth, where the colonists had sown lies, and Dessalines reestablished authentic freedom for humanity, which aligned to the core principles of Christ. So Kierkegaard would have seen in Dessalines a sincere struggle for worship, not necessarily religious in the strict sense, but deeply rooted in morality and humanity. So when closely examined, colonial Christmas was riddled with contradictions, like a poorly formulated arithmetic problem. Some of the glaring issues were cruelty. The celebrations were held in total indifference to the suffering of the enslaved people. Crimes. The trade and exploitation of the enslaved people continued even during holidays. Violence. Enslaved women were regularly subjected to sexual abuse. That came with the colonial Christmas. Deception. Colonists propagated the false theology that made it appear as though God supported slavery, far from the truth. What came with it again? Disrespect. Enslaved individuals were treated like material property, not as children of God, not as people created in God's image. What came again with it? Forced conversion. They were forced to adopt the master's religion. It was imposed to them to destroy their cultural heritage. Contempt. The value of the enslaved individuals was reduced to solely to their capacity to produce wealth. Otherwise, they would be discarded like you throw a piece of refuse. So those contradictions, they made calling our Christmas a farce, an empty shell of what Christmas truly represents. It was a facade, a mockery, calling itself Christmas. I mean, through their struggles, Dessalines not only physically liberated the enslaved, but also reflected a broader spiritual message. The call to recognize the dignity of every human being. No one person was superior to another. And this way, Dessalines realized the true essence of the Christmas message, where love, justice, and freedom found their rightful place. He dismantled the colonists' distorted version of Christmas and restored a closer connection to spiritual truth rooted in dignity and compassion. Because this ancient people could never reconcile the God of the masters with the violence that they're exacting on the people. But the people who were docile, the slaves were docile, basically resigned themselves to their faith. But not so for guys like Dessalines, Christophe, Toussaint. These were exceptional individuals who stood out as bright lights, force that could not be stopped, with the ability to expose the contradiction of the colonists and juxtapose them against profound truth of authentic Christianity. Henri Christophe was an Anglican, by the way. As the French were wreaking havoc against our forefathers, the English were the enemies. So, after Dessalines kicked them out of the island, the Anglicans, the English came and worked with Christophe. They created schools, universities, high school, primary school. And Christophe was going toward the Anglicans. Of course, the right Christmas was celebrating then. But Dessalines also understood the meaning of Christmas. Dessalines understood the symbolism of Christmas. Through his actions and speeches, he celebrated the essence of this significant holiday, delivering the oppressed, much like the core purpose of Christmas itself. So in 1804, when he proclaimed Haiti's independence, he delivered a message of hope, of freedom, and deliverance. And let me say that. Those values clearly resonate with the message of Christmas. Let me say it again. When Dessalines proclaimed Haiti's independence, he delivered a message of hope, freedom, and deliverance. And these values clearly resonate with the message of Christmas. Let's show some parallels between Dessalines' actions and the message of Christmas. The birth of Christ brought hope to the world. Similarly, Dessalines' abolition of slavery brought hope to all oppressed people, not just in Haiti, but across the globe. So, Christmas and the action of Dessalines is sharing the hope. Christ freed humanity from sin, while Dessalines freed humanity from the sin of slavery, restoring the dignity of the enslaved individuals as human beings. So that frames that comparison. Christ liberates humanity from the bondage of sin. Christ liberates from the slavery of sin, while Dessalines liberates from the from the sin of slavery. Now it's a play on words, right? It's a play on the words, but pun is intended here. Let me say it again. Christ liberates from the slavery of sin, because the Bible clearly says that if you practice sin, you are slave to sin. Right? Christ liberates from the slavery of sin, while Dessalines liberates from the sin of slavery. Again, a parallel between Christmas and Dessalines. In Luke chapter 4, verse 18 and 19, Christ proclaimed freedom for the captives and healing for the brokenhearted. Dessalines' actions fulfilled this message and reality by ending one of the most brutal systems in history. Now let's take a look at that verse. Interesting verse. In Luke chapter 4, verse 18, it says, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim liberty to the captives, recovery of sight to the blind, to set at liberty those who are oppressed, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor." That was Luke 4. And Christ then was reading the Old Testament. And Christ told the people who were astonished to see him reading that. And he says, this passage was fulfilled today. So when we compare Dessalines' action with what we read here in Luke chapter 4, verse 18 and 19, it fits right over it. Spirit of the Lord was upon me, is upon me, because he has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. January 1st, 1804 was good news. Certainly the best news that a slave could have ever heard. Good news. And the freedom that Dessalines was able to give to the slaves, it was done by God. Because as we saw, Christmas was a false Christmas. These guys were worshiping God, and in sincerity, God was not concerned about their worship. God didn't care about worship because they were in deep sin, such that Dessalines had to liberate people from that sin that they were committing. So, that system was a diabolical system. So, you could not say that they were doing God's will. So, when Dessalines liberated the enslaved people, it was an act of God. So, that was the good news that was given to the slave. And then that next part of the verse is, he had sent me to proclaim liberty to the captives. Certainly, Dessalines brought liberty to the captives. Next part of the verse, in recovery of sight to the blind. Certainly, there are many blinds in the colonies. People who were doing evil, blinded by their sins, blinded by the devil. Certainly their eyes were opened. And it's time now to also introduce a little Creole thing here. Jéhovine clair. Jéhovine clair parce que Dessalines fait yo rencontrer à Zogan yo. I'll close the Creole one. Their eyes were opened by Jean-Jacques Dessalines. What does the verse say again? To set at liberty those who are oppressed. Exactly what he did. See how the message of Christmas, because Luke chapter 4, again, it's the essence of Christmas. This is what Christ came to do at Christmas. And he was doing that very thing in that temple while reading Luke chapter 4. So, to set at liberty those who are oppressed. Again, Christmas. All over it. And then, last part of the verse, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor. 1804 was certainly the year of the Lord's favor. January 1st, 1804, Dessalines says, you guys are free than anybody else who is slave, who set foot in this land. You are automatically free. So you see, not only Haitians were liberated, but anybody who wanted to be, who could get to Haiti, was liberated. So, in that sense, the message of Dessalines' liberation resonates well with Christmas. It resonates with humanity because it restored humanity, as Christ did. Christ came to restore humanity to its divine identity, reminding people that were created in God's image. Reminding them that they were created in God's image. Through his struggle, likewise, Dessalines restored humanity to the enslaved, proving they were equal to all others created in God's image. Dessalines' actions, just as the Christmas message, was universal. Dessalines' example inspires all humanity. In liberating Haiti, he turned this small island into a symbol of resistance against global injustice. Dessalines' liberation sent a powerful message worldwide. Slavery was no longer acceptable. Slavery was a bad thing. Don't do it. Don't set such a bad example. So his actions shattered the practice and established Haiti as a beacon of hope. Like Christmas, Dessalines' example served as a profound inspiration for humanity. Let's say a word about Dessalines' so-called brutality. He is often criticized for his brutality, for shedding blood. But his brutality was a historical necessity. You will remember that our forefathers, our ancestors, they spent 300 years being murdered, 300 years being raped. The life expectancy of a slave was a mere 30-some years, because they would be wasted to enrich the French people. 300 years going through that. The colonists were met with unequal brutality, because their cruelty was unparalleled. So they had turned Saint-Domingue into the wealthiest colony in the world. And why was Saint-Domingue the wealthiest? Oh, because our forefathers worked and worked. Because they were smart. Because they were the best. So they made Saint-Domingue the wealthiest colony in the whole world. So Dessalines' response was proportional to their wickedness, to the evil deeds, because he had to dismantle a vicious system. Christ also use violence when he needed to? Didn't he go into the temple and chase people out of the temple, beat them up? Didn't Christ have some choice words for the Pharisees? Call them whitewashed tombs? Didn't he say that? Didn't he call them vipers? Brood of vipers? Yes, sometimes violence is necessary. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is justified. Sometimes. Christ used it when it was necessary. And when untold evil was exacted upon our forefathers, somebody had to say enough is enough. And that somebody was Jean-Jacques Dessalines. Now, the similarities between Dessalines and Christ and the Christ of Christmas is also even more crystallized in this one here. More crystallized. Because like Christ, Dessalines faced betrayal and was ultimately assassinated by the very people he sought to save. The very people he sought to save. They murdered him. What happened to Christ? The very people that he came to save, the very people, his own people, they murdered him. And when they were telling him, don't do that, don't do that, he's an innocent man, don't do that, he hasn't done anything wrong, they said he must die. Let his blood fall upon our children's head. They were bent on killing him. Same way Dessalines was betrayed by the guy that he helped liberate. Dessalines was betrayed by his compatriots and murdered. But his death immortalized him. That cemented his legacy as an unparalleled hero. Now we have the pristine emperor. He didn't decay before us. He didn't do so many bad things like the dictators did. So we have the right perspective of Jean-Jacques Dessalines, because he wanted to restore us to our own humanity. He wanted the slaves to have something. He wanted the people who were downtrodden to have something. And he was fighting for that. The other guys didn't like it. The French didn't like it. So they killed. When he was murdered, they were happy. They're pretty much at ease with Toussaint because they vanquished Toussaint. Dessalines, they hated him. So when Dessalines was murdered, it was Christmas for them. But again, it was a fake Christmas. It was a Christmas on treason. It was a Christmas like Benedict Arnold would have done it. Huge fake Christmas. So we can still be proud of our hero, Dessalines. By killing him while he was 47, they crystallized him, they froze him in time. We can always be proud of Jean-Jacques Dessalines. Despite their efforts to tarnish his image, Dessalines still comes out clean. He remains a clear symbol of resilience and liberation. So, to finish, let's say that the actions of Dessalines and the message of Christmas share a common essence: love for the oppressed, freedom for the prisoners, for the slave, and the restoration of humanity. Christ was 100% man, pure man. Again, we're not comparing Dessalines to Christ. Dessalines paled in comparison to Christ, certainly. But yet, there are similarities between Dessalines and Christ. Dessalines is human, Christ is divine and fully human, pure human, the human that we should have been. And that's why he came to restore us to that humanity. So there is no comparison, but yeah, there are similarities, great similarities. And this is why there are lessons for us to learn. The spark of freedom left by Dessalines can never be extinguished. Cannot be extinguished. The fight against neocolonialism and the dehumanization of people must continue. Look at what they're doing in Haiti now. Look at what they're doing in Haiti. But we must remember who we are and know that if we did it once, if God help us do it once, we can do it again. Dessalines' sacrifice resonates more with the spirit of Christmas than with the oppressors. Certainly so. The oppressor's version of Christmas was let's say garbage. Dessalines' actions were much closer to Christmas than their actions. At Christmas, as in Christmas, we know that evil cannot triumph as long as the righteous people persevere. So as Haitians, we must persevere. We must persevere. We must. We want to help you. We want to encourage you. Because Dessalines, like Christ, left the universal message of hope, justice, and freedom. And we have to live. We have to live in the light of what Dessalines has done. He has paved the way for us to open our arms and to receive all. When they're chasing others, we can receive them because we have the spirit of Dessalines, the spirit to liberate from depressing conditions. We have the spirit to liberate from sad and bad predicaments. Dessalines taught us to do that. We'll continue to do that. For Dimansyon, MacArthur PRB. Let's live according to the way that the founder of our nation, the unique, the immortal Jean-Jacques Dessalines left for us. The true mandate that he gave us is to be a beacon of hope for people. So we don't have time to waste. We must be strong. We must live according to the model that he has set for us. If you are of Haitian descent, know that you have greatness running in your veins, and no one can tell you otherwise. They may say that we're not smart. They may say that we are the dumbest. It's because they don't know us. They don't know history. They don't know the meaning of what Dessalines has done. They don't know our pedigree. They don't know where we came from. We are the ones who are giving freedom to others, while others were enslaving people. We're liberating them, and we'll continue to do that. It's now time to introduce another proverb of our culture. Tête qui connaît pas de chapeau a toujours pas de chapeau. A head who wears a hat will always wear a hat. We were created to be liberators. We were created to restore humanity. And that's the message that we are carrying, that we are transporting over Christmas. Yes, there is plenty of similarities between Jean-Jacques Dessalines' actions and the actions of Christmas. Although Dessalines is fallible, although Christmas is pure, but there are lots of similarities. Lots of similarities. And we can be proud that we are of the lineage of this great man. For Dimansyon, your brother, Makartu Pialui. Good night.